Hey Bruce, want to learn how to build a huge business even if nobody believes in your idea?
Yes!
Okay, now all you need is a very simple presentation like this you're willing to give over and over, and I'll even show you how somebody became a billionaire from doing it. Now, Daddy's not a billionaire, but I am a millionaire, and this is one of the things I had to learn to become one. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, so there once was a man that sold milkshake machines, and his name was Ray. Now, his milkshake machines, most restaurants would normally buy just one milkshake machine at a time. But one day, a restaurant ordered 8 milkshake machines. Not 2, not 4, 8. And Ray was like, what is going on here? He had to go see this restaurant that ordered 8 milkshake machines. Now, when Ray arrived at this little restaurant in California, he couldn't believe his eyes. Not only was there a line of customers waiting for their food, but here's the crazy part. They weren't waiting long at all, just a couple of minutes. The restaurant was serving food faster than Ray had ever seen a restaurant serve food ever in his life. Now, the restaurant was owned by 2 brothers, and they had done something that nobody else had ever done before. They had created a restaurant that could serve a lot of customers very fast for a good price, and the food was the same every time. Now, do you know what made this restaurant so special?
What?
Most restaurants have a lot of different items on the menu. This restaurant only had a few. They had burgers, fries, and milkshake. That's pretty much it.
Really? Burgers and milkshakes?
Yeah, burgers and milkshakes and French fries. And remember, do we eat French fries?
No.
Right, they're very bad for you.
What about burgers?
It depends, okay? But back to the story.
Okay.
They also did something else very unique. Instead of having a cook each meal like a normal restaurant, they had one person do one thing at a time. That way, they could serve the meals very quickly. So there was one person making fries, there was one person making burgers, there was one person doing milkshakes.
I want to be the milkshake guy.
Okay, you be the milkshake guy. Well, no, you be the guy that owns the whole thing, which we'll talk about that soon, okay? But let's get back to the story. Now, Ray saw something the brothers didn't see. He knew that if this new business model for a restaurant could work in one location, it could work in any location. So he said to the brothers, he said, hey, listen, would you like me to help you open up more restaurants like this across the country? And they accepted.
Where are those restaurants?
I'll tell you in a second. But there was a big problem. When Ray would explain this restaurant concept to business people and investors, they thought he was crazy. They thought, fast food, that'll never work. People want to sit down and take their time and talk and eat. They just didn't believe that anybody would want this. That was until Ray made this little presentation right here. And this is how he would explain it. He'd say, okay, there are 5 stations. And at station 1, there's only one person toasting the buns. They're the best bun toaster in the whole world. That's their sole purpose for existence, is to toast buns. Now, at station 2, there's somebody who is grilling the actual burgers. And that's their only job, just to grill burgers. Then at station 3, there's someone who's just putting the toppings on the burgers, like the pickles and the ketchup. Can you imagine just one person all day putting pickles and ketchup on a burger? That's all they do, all day. Can you imagine that?
Yo.
Pretty boring job, right?
Yeah. Actually, after that, I don't think I would be alive anymore.
But I digress. Station 4. One person to wrap the burgers. Just wrap them. And in the 5th station, just someone doing French fries. One person doing French fries. Now, this is the part of the presentation that made the money. This is the classic old versus new. Every great sales presentation has an old versus new method. And this is how it works. Ray explained that the old model of owning a restaurant, you could only serve 25 customers per hour. And with the new model that he was presenting, they could do 100 customers per hour. And then Ray said the magical phrase that Daddy likes to call the big idea. And the big idea is this: more customers equals more money. All Ray had to do was convince the investors that more customers equaled more money. And if they believe that, then his new model of building a restaurant is the way to make more money. And Bruce, what does every investor want? They want more
Money.
money, okay? They don't care about the restaurant, they care about the money. Now here is where Ray really leveled up his presentation. What he would do is he would invite people to the actual restaurant and he would take out a stopwatch and he'd have them order food and then he'd hit the stopwatch and time how long it took for them to get their food. And he'd be like, see, 3 minutes or less. And so not only did the investors get it,
What?
3 minutes.
For 100 people?
No, for one burger.
Ow.
Okay, but if you think about that, at 3 minutes per customer, you can serve 100 people in 1 hour.
Wait, what, 1 hour?
100 people in 1 hour. You know how much money you can make serving 100 people in 1 hour in a restaurant?
What?
A lot. So what Ray did was he not only made them understand it with a simple presentation, but he also did a demonstration. He showed them how quickly they could get it. So at this point, his presentation was so good that investors felt stupid for saying no. They had to give him the money. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
That's when Ray drew a map across the country and he showed the investors that if they opened restaurants across the country, they could make tons of money across the entire country and they'd get the same service every time for the customers, the same quality of food every time for the customers, and they could predictably make the same amount of money. And Ray not only showed them how they could open up multiple restaurants across the country, but he showed them how they could use one simple symbol to remind all the people where they could get food in 3 minutes or less. And it was a golden arch. And whenever somebody saw this golden arch, they always knew what they were getting and how quickly they would get it no matter where they were. And he would show the investors how they could open one restaurant and another and another and another and another and increase the money they make over time. And then he said the magical phrase that Daddy loves to say. He said, just imagine one of these restaurants in every city. He painted the future for the investors. Now, Ray's pitch promised 4 simple things.
Okay.
Proven system that anyone can learn, food that anyone can afford, speed that was faster than anybody, and quality that never changed.
Faster than the fastest superhero?
Faster than the fastest superhero. I don't think Superman could make a burger faster.
Really?
Probably not.
What about the Flash?
Maybe the Flash. Maybe. Do you know what that restaurant is called?
What?
Can you guess?
McDonald's!
McDonald's! That's right. And that is how Ray Kroc built McDonald's. And remember, Ray did not become a billionaire from creating a restaurant. The brothers created the restaurant. Ray became a billionaire from a sales presentation. Ray learned something very important that Daddy also learned. Now, Ray became a billionaire. I only became a millionaire. But here's the lesson. As long as you have one simple sales presentation that works, you can just do it over and over and over until you become rich. Now, Bruce, what did you learn from today's lesson?
I learned that there was a person and he created McDonald's.
Okay, he didn't create McDonald's. The brothers created McDonald's. He just created a sales pitch for McDonald's.
Get it?
Listen, the most important thing you gotta remember, come here, real quick. You'll never be broke if you know what to say. Now, you know Daddy is obsessed with sales presentations, and I've studied hundreds of them. And I found a pattern that is repeatable and works every time. And it's the same pattern Daddy used to build his $1 million business. Now, you know Daddy made a video about that?
Mm-hmm.
Where can they find it?
Link in the description.
That's right. Okay. Hope you guys love that. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.